I'd like to call the zoning hearing to order. Today is March 6th, 2024, and the time is 9:31. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. We're having a little bit of mic issues today, so if you can't hear us, let us know, and if you would, try to speak up so we can hear you, if that would be okay. We have 4 items on the agenda today. I'd like to recognize our zoning staff to introduce the first case.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am Beth Workman. I'm with the zoning section. I have the first 2 cases on your agenda today. The first case is extra space storage, DCI 2023-00022. The request is to amend Resolution Z99-046 to eliminate 3 single-story public storage buildings that were previously approved, and I'll show you on the aerial. So the applicant is requesting to amend to add 1 2-story building in this location where 3 single-story buildings were previously approved through Z99-046. The request is to build a 2-story building that's 41,600 square feet. The difference in square feet from what was previously approved to now is 19,590. The master concept plan shows where that building is located. It's an existing developed site that was previously certified with a 2-story building up front, and then you have the single-story storage units that flank the property line. This building is going right there in the center. The buffering is not going to change. There's a condition in the zoning regarding maintaining that previously approved buffer through the development order that comes in on the 2-story building. The building will be at a 25-foot height. There were no participants of record. The hearing examiner recommended approval. Staff and applicant are here if you have any questions.
Okay. At this time, does the board have any questions for staff?
I do not.
All right, seeing none, does the applicant want to make a presentation?
For the record, Katie Berkey of Becker and Polikoff on behalf of the applicant. We're here for any questions, but we're all in agreement in terms of the recommendation of approval. We're in favor of all the conditions that have been recommended. So unless you would like to see a presentation, we're fine.
Okay. Board have any questions for the applicant? No? Okay. There are no participants of record.
I'll move approval of the hearing
I'll
examiner's
second it.
recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Hammond and a second from Commissioner Rain. Are there any objections? Is there any further discussion? No objections? Okay. Unanimous decision 4-0. At this time, introduce the second item, please.
The second item on your agenda is Blackstone Corporate Park MPD, case number DCI 2023-00009. This is a request to amend an existing zoning resolution Z07051 to add 5 acres to that mixed-use plan development that was previously approved. The 5 acres being added is located south of State Road 82, east of Blackstone. This is in the Lehigh Acres community. The applicant is wishing to rezone the C1A portion to MPD and revise the square feet that was previously approved. So in the 07 zoning, it was 810,000 square feet. Thank you. 810,000 square feet of industrial, 250,000 square feet of commercial. The applicant is requesting to change that to 500,000 square feet of commercial floor area and 350,000 square feet of industrial. Maximum height is 65 feet. This is the master concept plan. The commercial is bisected by an FP&L easement, and the industrial is located along the south area. The property, portion of the property that's proposed to be industrial use is surrounded on two sides by a Lamsid canal that provides an additional separation from the residential that's located to the west of this property. In addition, there's wetland preserves and upland preserves that provide an additional separation. Hearing examiner recommended approval. There were no participants of record, and the staff, the applicant is here to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. This time, does the board have any questions for staff?
I have none.
Okay, seeing none, would the applicant like to make a presentation?
Good morning, Commissioners. For your record, Richard Aiken of Henderson Franklin. I'm here this morning on behalf of the applicant, which is Ron Inge and MCI and Bell. We are here this morning and available to answer any questions, and we would ask for approval of the hearing examiner's recommendation.
Okay. Board have any questions for the applicant?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion for approval from Commissioner Lane, a second from Commissioner Hammond. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Any objections? No objections. Moves unanimously 4-0. Please introduce.
Mr. Chairman, before the next case is introduced, I actually need to abstain from this case. My family's business works closely with the applicant, so I'll go ahead and file Form 8B with the clerk, and I'll step out of the room.
Thank you, Commissioner Hammond.
Shram Redemption has the next case, Bayshore 75.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Commissioners. Shram Redemption from the County Zoning. This is a rezoning case from mostly agricultural with some mobile home rezoning to residential plan development to allow for 250 residential units, all single families. The property is located along Bayshore Road and Williams Road. And hearing examiner reviewed this case and recommended approval, and there was one participant of record for this case.
Any questions at this time for staff?
No, sir.
Okay. Seeing none, would the applicant like to make a presentation?
No, sir. Would be happy to answer any questions you might have. Neil Montgomery for the record.
All right, thank you. Any questions at this time for the applicant? None? All right, we do have one participant. Is Clinton Busby here? Okay. I do not see him, so does... All right, so do we have a motion to move the item?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Sandelli, a second from Commissioner Rain. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it moves forward 3-0. Okay, staff, please introduce item number 4. Give us a second. Let Commissioner get back in. Thank you. Sorry about that, Commissioner.
Not as fast.
Yeah.
All
All right, please go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. The next case is CPA 2023-8. It's a water supply plan update. I'm Brian Roberts with the planning section. This is a county-initiated text amendment. Purpose of the amendments to incorporate the Lee County Water Supply Facilities Work Plan and associated amendments into the Lee Plan. We'll incorporate the work plan by reference into the Lee Plan as required by Florida statute. And it will amend the Lee Plan policies to maintain consistency with water use planning and update the 10-year water supply development projects, Table 5. Florida statute requires that local governments provide a work plan covering a 10-year planning period within 18 months after approval of the regional water supply plan. Direction was issued by the board to incorporate the work plan into the Lee Plan on August 1st, 2023. This process will strengthen coordination between the regional water supply plan prepared by the water management districts and the local governments, as well as providing consistency between land use planning and water supply planning. Work plan was shared with the water management district on December 4th as a courtesy, and no comments were received. Several policies were amended. These include policy 1.4.5, policy 20.3.2, policy 25.9.3, and 55.1.2. Also policies 55.1.3, policies 95.1.5, and of course table 5, the 10-year water supply development plan projects. Additional proposed policies include 54.1.13, 14, and 15. Florida statute requires Lee County to revise the Lee plan to ensure consistency with the South Florida Water Management District's Lower West Coast Water Supply Plan. Includes the adoption of the work plan for a minimum 10-year planning period, and ensures consistency with the regional water supply plan and water use planning. Staff recommends transmittal of the proposed amendments as provided in attachment 1 and stands by for any questions.
Okay. At this time, does the board have any questions for the staff applicant? Okay. Seeing none, I will call for public comment. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this item? Okay. Seeing none, I will close public comment. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Gladly move the item.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Rain, a second from Commissioner Hammond. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it's unanimous, 4-0. Item is moved. Seeing no further business in front of us, we are adjourned.